introduces you to what teenagers call the After Hours Club. The clubs attract thousands of Chicago area young people. Some say they come looking for drugs, dirty dancing, and pounding techno music. ABC 7 investigative reporter Chuck Goudie joins us now with an eye-opening story.
John, Diane, you both will remember years ago, some community-minded TV stations across the country would broadcast the question, "It's 10 p.m., do you know where your children are?" Well, things have changed. Today, the question for parents is, "It's 5 a.m., do you know where your children are?" A troubling answer to that question tonight from the ABC 7 I-Team. Where are your children? Our investigation finds they may be members of the After Hours Club. They're not in line for Cubs tickets, and this isn't Wrigley Field. This is Greektown, right in the shadow of the big shoulders downtown Chicago. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. The wind chill is below zero, and it may be hard to believe, but the party is just starting. At 5 a.m. every Saturday and Sunday morning, every week for the past year and a half, thousands of young people, many suburban teenagers, have jammed this raucous nightclub called XL, just west of the Loop. Even though XL has a city liquor license, they can't serve alcohol at 5 a.m., just bottled water and juice. Most after-hours club goers don't leave until well after sunrise.
What percentage of the people who come here would you say use drugs prior to coming here?
50%.
Customer Rachel Silver says some club goers are under the influence of this hallucinogenic pill known as ecstasy when they arrive at 5 a.m. Ecstasy is an LSD-type emotion-altering tablet. Each pill sells illegally for about $25 or $30 on the street. This after-hours customer says ecstasy is available from patrons inside the club.
Everybody comes here to do ecstasy. They come here because they know it's here, and you gotta do ecstasy. It's here if you want it.
Right. It's here if you want it.
Without a doubt.
Have you ever taken it here?
Yeah.
You bought it here?
No.
You bring it in here?
Yeah, other people bring it.
And at 5 a.m., there's a second meeting place for the After Hours Club at a smaller bar-restaurant called Rapture in Westtown. Rapture has been open since October. The ABC 7 I-Team went undercover at both of Chicago's 5 a.m. clubs on several recent weekends. Casey Klaus ran our hidden camera inside Rapture and says that 5 minutes after he walked in, a patron offered him ecstasy and cocaine.
This guy came up to me out of the blue and asked me if I was rolling.
The patron wasn't asking Casey if his undercover camera was rolling. He wanted to know if Klaus was rolling on ecstasy.
I told him I was fine, I was good. And he asked if I was straight with coke. And again, I said, I'm not real interested, thank you. And he told me, okay, if any of my buddies do want some drugs, that he was the man to find.
The owner of Rapture declined to appear on television, but says they search patrons for drugs and have asked some customers to leave.
Who are you, sir?
None of your business. Who the are you?
At first, the management of the much larger after-hours club XL didn't care to appear on camera either.
Ecstasy, this and that. Well, open up. 60s that was in. 60s that drug was around. Didn't just happen. It's all over the city. You got millionaires, you got kids, they want to do it. You can't stop them.
Gus's brother, the manager of XL, told me they try to stop illegal drug use at their family business and have a zero-tolerance policy for drugs and alcohol.
What percent of the people who come here do you believe are under the influence of some illegal drug?
You really can't see. We're not chemists. We don't know. These people, the drugs that are going on right now, you cannot tell that they're on the drugs until it starts to affect them in some way. But we take care of these people if the situation arises. We'll call the ambulance. We're knowledgeable. A couple of our staff members have gone to seminars on the drugs.
Before customers pay the $10 cover charge at the door, XL claims patrons are frisked for drugs. But that was not the experience of I-Team undercover producers.
I never saw a female get close. But I walked in with the coat on, and so did the girl I was with walking with the coat on, and nobody said anything.
We did have a girl that searched 3 weeks ago. The last 2 weeks we haven't had her. She's in class. She was studying for finals. And we will have one, since she's done, we will have it. But it's not easy to get somebody to come out at 5 in the morning or you can hire her just to search women.
Our investigators spotted a prominent poster on a wall inside XL that referred customers to a site on the World Wide Web. This website is a virtual how-to buy and use illegal drugs such as ecstasy, heroin, cocaine, ketamine, and the potent knockout drug GHB.
Someone would come up to us and just strike up a conversation, talk to us about what they've been doing that night, what drugs they've been doing that night, are we doing drugs, very open about it. You can ask them, and they said, yes, it's plentiful here. I mean, if you wanted to find ecstasy, it was there.
I look at it in terms of evolution. We're not driving around a horse and buggy anymore, so why are we still sipping Jack Daniels?
We've never had any problems. We've never had to call the police. We've never had, any fights come out of the street.
But less than 4 minutes later, during this interview, a fight erupted in the parking lot that was broken up by XL bouncers. And so at 5 a.m., if the first question is, do you know where your children are? The second question is, where are the Chicago police?
We received complaints about drugs being sold there in the open, and this past Sunday when we went there, we found that was the case.
When Chicago police raided XL, 3 club goers were arrested inside the place for allegedly selling ecstasy. The raid, a week ago Sunday, wasn't the first time police made arrests inside XL. More than a dozen arrests have been made there the past year, including an employee who worked as a doorman and allegedly sold drugs to people on the way in. But XL is still open, and the owners are retaliating against the city. That part of our after-hours investigation tomorrow night at 10. John, Diane?
We'll check with that one estimate in your story about